So this is DI 33-2. We're going to go over a few of these identities. So number 1, it says cosine of theta minus pi equals negative cosine theta. This is a sum and difference identity. Cosine theta cosine pi plus sine theta sine pi. Well, cosine of pi is -1, sine of pi is 0, so this becomes negative cosine theta plus 0, which is negative cosine theta, and those are equal. Next one. Let's do number 3. So tangent of theta plus pi halves equals negative cotangent theta. So using the identity, I have tangent theta plus tangent of pi halves over 1 minus tangent theta minus tangent of pi halves. Whoops, that should be times. Now here's the issue. The tangent of pi halves, sine over cosine, that doesn't work. So we can't go about that route because this right here is undefined and this right here is undefined. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to change tangent into sine over cosine. So the sine of theta plus pi halves over the cosine of theta plus pi halves. So now, reducing that, the sine of theta plus pi halves is sine theta cosine pi halves plus cosine theta sine pi halves over cosine theta cosine pi halves minus sine theta sine pi halves. Now, the cosine of pi halves on the unit circle, that's going to be 0. That's going to be 1. That's going to be 0. And that's going to be 1. So I'm going to have, so if that's, so kind of like continuing it here, I'm going to get cosine theta over negative sine theta, which is negative cotangent theta. For numbers 4, 5, and there's 2 5s. For numbers 4 and both of those 5s, just know that you're going to have to use the sum and difference identity for the sines and the cosines. Just write it out, be neat, and you'll see as things cancel out. And number 6, I'll set it up for you. This is the difference quotient. So I'm not going to have room to fit all of this, so I'm only going to put this portion right here. So the sine of t plus h, that's going to be sine t cosine of h plus cosine of t sine of h. And that's going to be minus sine of t. That's going to be all over h. So now, what I need to do is, if we're looking at our what it's asking us to do, basically, we're going to have to kind of break this up a little. And I'm going to break this up. I'm going to pair basically this together. So I'm going to get cosine of t sine of h all over h. and then I'm going to pair this together. So now I'm going to get plus sine t cosine h minus sine t all over h. So now I can factor out the cosine here. And I'm going to factor out the sine t here. And there you go. Now they look the same. Numbers 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 referred to 33-1, in which I go into detail on how to do those.